video so that you guys can hear a little bit more of a more focused piece or discussion. So I'm going to just talk. I've tried getting a different cover for this couch. Today I'm sitting because I feel like my leg needs a little bit of a sitting moment, a new little colored environment. Yeah, so I'm going to play some songs on here. I don't know if they're all on here, but I feel like it's been a couple of days since I have not been on here, right? Because I've been a little busy. My sister and my mom are coming down to visit this week. This week, my gosh. So Saturday, they're supposed to be coming over. So me and Brandon are going to pick them up at the airport and bring them over here. Around the corner is the Marriott, so they're staying at the Marriott, which is great. I'm trying to see if I can arrange like a little thing for my sister over there. I've put in the request. I don't know if they will approve of it. This is the restaurant area at the Marriott. I don't know. It's all up in the air. Maybe they want to hear my sister first in person. Maya's not going to be, I'm not going to be, if it were to be anything, I wouldn't be necessarily performing with her. I would be just helping her put it together, I guess. Her friends are here and they're obviously they're interested to see her, but they also want to hear her perform. So I'm trying to make it as a situation where she could be in a place where she can perform and it becomes not just a visit, but she can do small little something for her friends who really want to hear her sing, which will be great, right? So I think that's a good, kind of a good call. Welcome in. I'm doing a general talk today. I'm sitting in a different place than I usually would sit because my leg is sore, and sitting on the stool is not always great for my positioning of my back and my leg. My leg is seriously damaged. So I have to kind of work around the situation. On occasion, you'll be seeing me sit. Obviously, I stand in different places or sit in different places. So I had a small little get-together meeting. Welcome in, guys. With somebody that, oddly enough, had actually studied, not personally studied with me, but that had studied with me in the same high school in Japan. And he actually took the same music production class that I started off in Tokyo. So I think today is just a day to kind of brainstorm the possibilities of something that could happen there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can claim myself as a music producer now, I suppose. It's not just piano playing or singing, because I do go past just an instrument and go straight into the technology of how music works on a larger scale, right? So I'm just sitting here. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna play you a song that I produced in Tokyo when I was a kid. I must have been 17 when I did this, right? Everybody's like just understanding and learning production now, whereas I was doing it in 1998. 1998? 97, 98. Okay, but the quality and the production was slightly different than it is now. Let me see if I can figure out where I put this thing. And yes, I am older. I am not a spring chicken anymore, guys. I am definitely of age to say that I can actually do this, okay? Sent. I'm gonna just play it on here. Let's see if I can find it though. Where is the track? I think it's this. Yeah. So I'm having you listen to the track that I managed to salvage from Japan. This is 1998. It's so different now. The quality, I'm not putting it through a speaker. You're just listening to it, okay? But you can listen in on what. So I brought this back from Japan. I don't have the separates, nothing. All the parts I did separately. We didn't have loops back then. No such thing as loops. So all the parts you hear, I had to individually create the sounds, the adjustments, the volumes. Totally different now. But not bad for a 17-year-old, right? In Japan. Can you hear that? Oh, my mic's here, so you get from here to here. Yeah. So you're listening to my song that I've composed in Japan right now. I'm just sitting on my couch. My leg is sore. I don't feel like sitting over there, so I'm moving spaces today. So I produced this long, long time ago. My very first production. I have another one. I think I did 3. Can you hear it? I have my speaker here. I'm gonna move this. Hold on. Ooh, gosh. Okay. So the subject was, I'll tell you just now how this came about. 1998. What school had a production class? High school. Not one that I know of. The only place I knew of was Tokyo. So I'm glad I was there in 1998. Okay. People talk about, oh, I'm a producer. I was like, well, if you produce, you should know how to do it from scratch like we used to. Okay, so that's one of them. Let me get the second one out. This is another one you guys are going to listen to, okay? So I'm not 17 now. I was 17 back then. Sorry to burst the bubble. I'm 44 years old. I'm just putting the speaker on here. What I produced I'll talk this now just for you guys to listen to this question. We can talk about the differences of production and the production. And you'll hear there's like an adjustment that he did that wasn't there before. It happens. The way you fix things now versus before, it was always harder back then to go back and readjust things because it's just different. Production and software and JAWs, totally different now than it used to be. I don't even have the parts anymore because it wasn't on my computer. That's why it's best to have your own. That's why it's best to have your own music production equipment, because situations like this you can't go back and check on it. You have to have your parts, or else there's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do with it now, unless I go back and rework it like from scratch and then build it back up. So that's added a drum that wasn't there. So there was everything about it was like a little bit of a messy ending. Okay, so you can hear what I was doing back in 1998 on production equipment. Now, ask me what the DAW was. I will not be able to tell. I even asked the person that I'm now talking to what it was because he was in the same school as me. And he couldn't even remember. He's like, I don't know. We don't remember what it was. So we don't know what the DAW was. We're all like confused, scratching our heads, trying to figure out what it was. But it was certainly not Logic because Logic wasn't around. And it certainly wasn't GarageBand because GarageBand wasn't around. We don't know if Pro Tools might have come out. However, Pro Tools was obviously accessible for Apple devices back then too. So there's a lot of stuff that has gotten lost during the time of production to now. You know, people know about Pro Tools, Ableton, Cubase, Fruity Loops, something another one of my exes was using. These are different DAWs, right? And now it's just different. Let me just do my Poshmark quickly. I want to get this out of the way, folks. Okay, give me 2 seconds to do this. Got to do this, and then after the live, I have to definitely get back into my Poshmark because I haven't done it today. I haven't done it today. In fact, for the past 3 days, I haven't done it. So anybody have any questions on production? I'm not doing the TikTok live today. I did it earlier. I think that's good enough. I don't need to do it. Yeah, I'm balding. You see that? It's just thinning out. This is what happens when you're age, guys. Somebody laughed about it. I was like, you have no idea. And that's the crown. That's somebody's crown. That's the crown of your head. So usually the start of the hair would be here, right? That's like, and I trim my own, all the stuff. So it's important to, you know, acknowledge that there are people out there that have produced music way longer than maybe people anticipated, which is my whole thing, right? I've been doing it for years. So let me just calculate this. I don't even know the calculations, but I will tell you how long, once I've finished calculating, I have to calculate because I cannot do it in my head. Where's my calculator? Oh my God. Calculator. Ooh, it's not set up on here. Okay, so let's not do it that way then. I need to get a calculator. Apple. It's on my iPhone, apparently, a calculator. Okay, let's just get a basic calculator. Perfect. That's good enough for me. And Halloween is coming up, so these colors in the background seem to be, I guess, fine for now, right? So I'm preparing for Halloween without preparing, technically speaking, right? So that's where I am right now. Where did it go? Where's the calculator? Here it is. Okay. So 1998. So, okay, so 2000 minus 26 years. I have been learning to produce music for 26 years. That is absolutely ridiculous. But within 26 years of understanding how music equipment works and production equipment works, you can see over the years the development. You know, a lot of recording studios have big, large spaces with all the equipment. Now, I personally wouldn't want that because sometimes the equipment gets in the way. Now we have accessibility for portability. So my key is if I were to build my studio, it would be I would be able to move and disassemble and reassemble things on a faster based situation. So I would prefer using Bluetooth now, and I prefer to be walking around with my iPad and experimenting with ideas, or having a Bluetooth headset to go outside or be on an airplane and record something just on the spot. You can't do that necessarily unless you have a recording studio space in the airplane to be sitting and doing a whole setup, which is ridiculous. I mean, why would you want to do something so mad? So 26 years, guys. So people think I'm 26, but I've been doing music production for 26 years. Let's put it into perspective now, okay? So I'm not just starting off and I'm talking nonsense. This is something I have been seriously working on for a long, long, long time. A long time. So going back into the discussion of what I'm planning on doing now from here on out, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in like the new song that Megan the Stallion just did with this, I don't remember the guy's name, with this Japanese. I cannot play the songs on here because it gets copyright infringements, and I do not want to have that issue happen on me. So we're going to not play the pieces, but I'll talk about the pieces. Megan the Stallion. It's called Sta, right? I think it's called Sta. Megan the Stallion. Oh, Mamushi, okay? And then Yukon Chiba. Yukon Chiba is the Japanese musician. Oddly enough, Yukon Chiba has also worked with a person I had gone to school with in Tokyo too. I don't know her personally, but she was definitely in our school. Utada? No. What's her name? I'm forgetting people's names. Hikaru Utada. Hikaru Utada. Yeah, Utada. Hikaru Utada. So she has also performed with Yuki. So it's just interesting, full circle, you know, all the people that I'd studied with in Japan, or people who were studying production in Japan, have worked for Sony or are working for Sony. So it's a very interesting kind of playback on where everything falls into place. And yeah, I personally have been around, like I said before a couple of times, I wasn't joking about it, but I have been around people who produce music for Sony. I've been in their studio spaces. I've sat there and watched them work. So it's not like an unusual thing. It was mainly that, in that situation, it was mainly in South Africa. So Neil Solomon was a producer for Sony. I don't ever bring up the names, but I am going to now, because then it just shows you the age, you know, the age brackets. Neil Solomon's a very old producer. He's not older, just older producer. He's been in South African music scene since the 70s. There are like a lot of South African, my sister's South African, which is why I'm bringing this up. My sister doesn't necessarily work with a record label. I think she works with she is a solo artist, like she does her own acts, and then she has producers that she goes to, but I don't think they put her underneath a label. She has her own kind of brand. She's branded herself, you know what I mean? So you can still brand yourself without actually being part of a label. And what may possibly happen is I might start producing music, because now I'm locked into some people who have worked or studied with me in Tokyo in the production class that I was actually involved with in 1998. They were just doing it a few years after me. Maybe in their 20s now, most likely in their 20s. So it is a very big possibility that I will be perhaps working on some music for some Japanese musicians, and maybe even some Korean musicians, we shall see. I was listening to BTS's new songs. They're actually very nice. And then Blackpink, is it Blackpink? BTS's group just came out with a whole bunch of different songs, and then solo acts from the musicians. Their songs are really good. I was actually impressed with not just them speaking the English, but also how the construction of the pieces were. I'm not going to play them. I can read them out to you guys, which is fine if you want to take a listen. Let me use my iPad to go into this. BTS. BTS. I'm very into my K-pop and J-pop. That's just what I like because it's something I enjoy. Jungkook came up with I Am Still, right? Then you have Jimin, who came up with a really cool song. What was it? Where is it? Where's their new tracks? Their new tracks. Mic Drop. Boy with Love. Yeah, take a look. I mean, I think there's some really good things. I don't know all the names off the top of my head. There's just so many. I'm not going to go through the whole DNA. Oh, Be Mine, that's good. And then Who, both Jimin's. So I Am Still is also a pretty good piece. So I'm listening to a lot more Asian stuff. My husband is Cambodian, so generally speaking, I'm more surrounded by people who are Asian than non-Asian. I don't have American family, so to speak, that I spend time with. My family is Asian, so that's my family here in the United States is an Asian family. My husband is Asian, and that's what it is for me. I eat Asian food. That's like I eat chopsticks. I use chopsticks. I don't use knife and fork. So I'm, don't look at the person from the way they look, but the actions and what kind of experiences they've had, if you know what I mean. That's an important element. So 26 years I have been producing music and working hard at it. Yes, I have known people at Sony. I have tried getting a couple of songs into Sony, but as a female who does production, it's not as back then. It's probably getting better now, and people are a lot easier on the subject, whereas before it was like, oh, you're not allowed to do that. Like in South Africa, the producers were like, oh, you're a female, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, that's not true. Like, you definitely, like, there's a different world outside of South Africa. Like Japan, there's like mad respect for people who are trying to appreciate the culture. So yeah, it seems to be a really good kind of like direction. I don't know, people are not talking, they're just sitting and observing today. But yeah, can you hear me? That's the next question. I think you guys can hear me. My mic is here, so hopefully the mic is helping. So yeah, it's just, and Halloween is coming up, just as a, I'm looking at somebody sending me a message, I don't know what that was. Halloween is coming up, August, September, October, so we have 2 months, a month left. September and then October, and then we have Halloween. So I'm preparing. I mean, I wanted to change the colors of our couch, but now we have an orange throw, I guess. So I'm getting inspired to think about these kind of things. I really do hope so. The company that has asked me to, the director who started the company, they call the company Surf. I'll show you on here. If you are interested in music production and you produce music for like an Asian community, then this might be something you might want to look into too. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. Like, I think it's strictly for like people who are wanting to mold the two together, because that's what I do. I mold Asian and Western. That's what I grew up with, and that's what I know how to do. So that's what I'm going to continue doing, because I know that this is the time to build up that identity. That's like, my family here is Asian, so it's only obvious and makes sense that this is what happens with my world. So because that's how I live. That's my lifestyle. Where is that group? Surf. Hold on, I need to find it now. It's called Surf. Where is it? Doko kana. Doko kana. Doko kana. And I want to get back into my Japanese, so this feels like right for me, because this might give me that opportunity to get back into my Nihongo a little bit more than I have been, if you know what I mean. I'm still trying to find it. Oh, maybe because I'm in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. Definitely in the wrong place. Okay, so. Here. Okay, I don't know if I can necessarily, I think I can get into the app. Okay, so they say it's an app. They technically say it's an app, but I think right now the only question is, why is it not in the App Store? Like, I can go onto the app, but it needs to be sent to me as a link for me to get into it, to identify where it is. So right now it's not visible to the general public. I hope that they make it more of an app, even though they claim it's like an app discovery server or surf. So bring in the old and the new. Let me just see, learn more. So I'm just showing you their website. Okay, so this guy, the director, studied with me, or studied at the same high school as me in Japan. And he worked for Sony. So I can see what they're doing. And they're dealing closely with Sony artists from Asia. So they're doing a great job. I think they're doing a fantastic job. It's just a matter of figuring out why I have not seen it on the App Store. I'm like questioning, what is the reason why I don't see it in the App Store? So that's my big question mark. Like, I'm looking through this. I've signed up. I've set it up. I think you have to pay monthly. I need to ask more about that too, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, there are lots of things to consider, but I'm interested because I am in an Asian family, and it's just something I grew up with. So it's not, you might not see Brandon on here, but he works full time. That's his job. His job takes over his life. Understandable, or else I would not be sitting here talking to you guys and having a little bit of a luxurious kind of situation where I'm allowed to do this. I'm thankful he's allowed me to be doing the YouTube, or else I'd be working in maybe a restaurant, I don't know, not being able to do my music. So I feel like I'm slightly honored that he has allowed me to pursue what I love to do. Okay, and opening up the door to social media and using the accessibility to talk about what I'm able to talk about, I'm not putting music on in the background because I feel sometimes if I want to put music on, it's just hard. Like, sometimes I've been told some of the tracks that I do probably have similar content ideas as people who are producing music as well, because I'm almost certain now that Logic is the universal DAW that people are using. Even the director of this company said, oh no, he uses Logic. So make no mistake, even the people at Sony Music are using Logic. Okay, Logic Pro X. It's not an uncommon app, or uncommon DAW that people are using now. It's like the go-to, easy to use. Everybody has an Apple. It's making it more accessible because now you can put it on your phone and walk it off and take it to go, that kind of thing. So it's a pretty big, it's a pretty big thing that's going on now. There's just a shift in technology. And the whole point of following through with the shift is to carry on and focus on working through the technology when it comes out. Start learning it, start practicing it, figuring it out when it comes out, so you get like adjusted into it. Like, you have to do that. You have to transform and transition your experience in music production just by going in and learning the new things that are happening. I don't necessarily use Ableton. I do have it. I don't use Fruity Loops, even though I'm probably sure I can use it. It's just, for me, it's just easier to use Logic because it's on the Apple devices. It's just, that's what I grew up using. I'm also an artist because I do graphic design and stuff. So for me, molding the arts, the photography, and the music all on one type of computer, which is the Apple, is more practical for the arts. That's just my personal opinion. Some people might say, oh, well, we have a PC, then use your PC. That's fine. You do your thing. Use your PC and your Pro Tools, which costs way more than Logic. Okay, Logic is, it turns in, I think Logic is being used universally. I was looking at a video that's that Little Nas was doing, and here he is producing music on Logic. So I'm like, here you go. So there you go. Logic is a good place to start, guys. GarageBand and then into Logic. That's what I say about production. Okay, since I've been doing it for 26 years now. My gosh, 26 years. Can you believe it, as a female? You know how hard it is kind of running around trying to prove to people that you can do it as a female? It's difficult. Never an easy subject to kind of like talk about, but yes, I am not 26, rather 44, and I've been producing music since I was 17, I guess. Yeah, there you have it. So I'm just talking through this because I'm brainstorming this. My sister will be here with my mom this weekend from South Africa. I'm trying to set up a concert for her next door where she's going to be staying. I really do hope that this is something that can happen. I would be very interested to see it develop if it does happen. I sent a message to the director down there. If she does, then I'd like to. She's like, I don't really like social media. I was like, Maya, everybody else is using social media to promote you. So somewhere along the line, you're going to have to accept the fact that social media is actually helping musicians push themselves out there. It's not just for the people around you, but for the people that extend outside of your circles and expand it over to the international spectrum, which is the social media aspect. So I don't think I'm going to be on here for too long. I think, it's funny, strange how I'm not getting much conversation from you guys today. You guys, I hope you're listening in. But yeah, there's lots going on. I think it's important to know how music works, but I also think you need to understand the theory behind it when it comes down to music. I'm just sitting in a different place. My foot was a little sore. There was a bit of rain earlier, so I'm just sitting on a couch versus my music equipment. So I'm enjoying our new setup, and I hope you guys are enjoying the Halloweenish type of look. I don't know if I'm going to decorate our place, but I certainly probably get some extra pillars or something for Halloween. We'll see. We shall see what we will do. I'm still debating. So that's generally it. I have a smaller video that I did earlier, and I might get off now, only because I do have that other video you guys can watch. I can add some music to it as well, so you can watch it with music. I haven't done a video for a while, like an actual video, like edited video and all that stuff. And then I can do my Poshmark, because I haven't done my Poshmark in 2 days. So technically, I'm working in 3 different areas, right? It's not just one area. So, you have to remember, if you're working for yourself, you're jumping around in different platforms. And that's just how it is. Unless you have 10,000 people working for you, you are going to be doing the work on your own most of the time. So yes, I don't have a white family in the United States. My family is Asian here. Asian. We eat Asian food in our house. When we do family events, we do Asian restaurants. That's what we do. Yes. So that's how I've been living my life my whole life. I have not been around a white family. My dad's Jewish, but my mom is mixed. So I'm not technically American, didn't live in America for that long. Okay, folks, thanks. Not much conversation going on today. I'm kind of shocked. Usually everybody's talkative and wanting to socialize. Maybe you're just interested to hear me speak about stuff and kind of identify how the music works from 26 years ago. Yes, production was different back then. In fact, I don't even think most schools had it. So we were very lucky and fortunate to have a school that had production in 1998 to teach, which is why I probably just kept going, because I was like, that was a really fantastic class. Okay, folks, arigatou gozaimashita, matashita sayonara, and jane bye-bye. And I will speak to you guys in the next one. I'll have a video clip up as well, and you guys can revise this and all that stuff. Okay, jane bye-bye. See you later.